Hey, what is up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. We're going to dive into Casper, XRP, and a few others if we have time, and I hope you enjoy. Hope everybody's doing well today, and let's get into it. So looking at the Casper price chart overall at 4.9 cents, so trying to push to the previous swing high around 5 cents to 5.5. Since the December low last year, we can see we're up about 90% wick to wick. And turning on the 500-day MA, which is something we've been using for a long time at this point, we can see that we are en route to that around 5.2 cents. Now, a variety of altcoins have already hit this level during an impulse, but I do expect a pullback at some point. Now, when you're measuring the pullback, we could draw a fib from the low to the high and measure a 382, a 50%, or a 618 to get a better re-entry. So my long-term holdings for Casper, I'm not going to risk them. I'm not going to gamble them. They are just going to be staked for the long term because I believe this could be one of the best investments I ever make. So with any intraday trading that I try to do throughout the week after these impulses to just buy back lower, improve my position by 10% here and there, I'm only doing it with my trading bag because I just can't risk it. I really want to have a lot of exposure long term because time and time again, as we went over the last video, and if you're interested in Casper, please watch the previous video. It's about 40 minutes. I put a lot of work into it in actual research. So any speculation that I did with it, I showed you the stats, the facts, and what I was basing it off of. And even since the last few weeks, I mean the end of March, guys, it has not been long. We're up almost 50% the past 18 days alone. So that's absolutely beautiful considering a variety of altcoins have already reached their April 2022 high, which would be equivalent to about, we'll say 10 cents. Now looking at some Casper price levels, just some open gaps above and below. Now remember, these lower gaps do not have to fill. There were gaps on other price charts and they still did a 10x, 50x, or 100x during the next cycle. As you can see, the 500-day moving average, a variety of price levels, just looking at wicks and drawing some Fibonacci retracements. Now a few key levels we're looking at: 5.5, 7 cents, 10 cents. We have open gaps that I've personally shared at 12 cents, 16.75, some maybe around 18 cents, but the largest and highest open gap I see is 43 cents. Now that is the exact same level as H-bar. And I think that's if you're using the weekly candle bodies, we can take a look. It's both at the 702. So I know I joked about this in the last video, but it really does seem like we just live in a simulation. And you can look at order blocks and the 60-cent weekly candle bodies as well. Now it's nice that Bitcoin is up to 30K. It is just kind of ranging sideways. The longer that happens, the more opportunity there is for alts that are just super low to play a little catch up with some alts that are already higher. So remember, we still have a CME open gap for Bitcoin around 34,800. We'll call it 35K, right around the 382 Fibonacci retracement. So when we're talking at 20K about Bitcoin closing the gaps above 30, it seems crazy or called an idiot, but look what's happening. And the reason I show 40K here for just a basic retracement, you don't have to believe in an all-time high for Bitcoin. We have to cross each level at a time, but it's possible. We had 3 different cycles over the past 10 years where Bitcoin still reaches the 50% Fibonacci retracement, whether it's just a retracement or we're actually en route to an all-time high price. So it's the weekly R1 pivot as we've shared. So I understand being more bearish on altcoins once they get up to, the April 2022 high or are pushing an all-time high where it could just be another double top. And I'll start getting more bearish as altcoins this year begin to actually retrace, and then everybody won't like me again. And keep in mind, even looking at the ADA price chart, this is the 5-day versus Casper. So this is when ADA crashed 98%, just like Casper. We're around 700 days overall. ADA took 1,100 days until it pushed under 2 cents, by the way, all the way up to a new all-time high at $3 and about 9 cents. So this was a 160x return. Now I shared this one in a previous video, and I'll show you the more bullish case as well. This is the Casper fractal flipped if it did follow exactly what Bitcoin did when it crashed in March 2020 but still got the retracement first, whereas XRP did a very similar move up here at $1.96, crashed back to the 0.059 fib. Now there's a variety of confluences with this fractal coming up to different fib levels and even the double top up here. So if we can cross that, it's definitely a lot more bullish. And remember, we have an open gap at the 702 at about 43 cents, just like H-bar. Now you can ignore this wick down here because this was just the fractal based off launch. In the more bullish case I see per the price chart, because we don't know what these enterprise apps can actually do with transactions on the network. Casper's around 1,000 transactions per day. They haven't even rolled out, and Ethereum's around 1 million per day. And the CEO of Casper said if we can just get one enterprise use case, we'll have more transactions than the entire Ethereum network. And he was a seed investor in Ethereum and also still a top wallet holder today, so a lot. So notice instead of coming up to the 236, 382 and kind of rejecting these previous highs, we could go up to the 702, where the 43 cent gap is during a retracement, and the highest I see is the weekly candle bodies at 60 cents. So I could be completely wrong about this. I'm just betting on a retracement and then coming back down below the 236. If we go a little bit lower, even better. Both Bitcoin and XRP hit this level. After Bitcoin hit this level, it went on to create a new all-time high price, and XRP is right around this level today. Now, if I'm completely wrong about a retracement and we don't get the pullback that I would be looking for, maybe we do follow an ADA Cardano fractal or a Altcoin fractal. I wouldn't complain if we created an all-time high price, but I'll believe it when we see it. We have a lot of levels to cross. So a few things related to Casper. The moment when you realize the number of accounts of Casper, yes, over 100K, but the actual holders or wallet holders and delegators are way less. I mean a fraction of that amount. And if one enterprise use case actually launches with success, it is game over. I know there's a lot of hate for Casper because a lot of people see it as competition, but with the actual transactions on the network, the computation, the inflation rate won't be enough to keep up with demand, period. Remember ADA's circulating supply around 32 billion. It also had that supply when it was at $3.09. Casper's total supply and even circulating supply is far less. It'll take about 15 years to even get to ADA's circulating supply today. So if you believe that Cardano and Hedera, both with over 30 billion in circulation, can hit $1, $3, $5, if Casper gets this right and has success, you could add a 3x multiplier to those numbers I just told you. And just to be clear, to any Cardano holders, I like it, I wish it well. But after it just did a 160x the previous cycle, I am focused on something that is yet to go and is a lot closer to its all-time low price and has never experienced a bull run. So if Cardano did a 160x from under 2 cents to $3 plus, and yes, there's utility, but this is not actual enterprise utility. And that's the point. The least penetrated market in blockchain is enterprise application. So when a few of these projects, including HBAR, Casper, XTC Trade Finance, pick your favorite altcoin, if they get that success and computation on the network, those crazy prices we've talked about for certain assets can happen. So if ADA did a 160x last hype cycle, because there was hype, there was speculation, Bitcoin is pumping, it was not just because of the fundamentals of Cardano, even though I like it. What can Casper do with actual utility? Especially if you mix in Bitcoin pumping in the crypto market going back to a total all-time high per market cap. So I can name 3 enterprise applications already in development. We have IPW launching shortly, dozens of Fortune 500s, and even more big news during SALT, the conference in May regarding nucleus finance. So remember, this is just my opinion. This is not financial advice, but for me personally, I think Casper could be my best investment this decade. It is a Fortune 2000 and government infrastructure play, so I'm here for the long term. So I'll do my best to try to improve my position after we get these big pumps and typically a 382 pullback or a 50% pullback, but I'm excited overall. And when you really zoom out, we haven't woken up. We still have not broken out of this range in previous levels of resistance. I'll get a lot more excited then. But as we start retracing, I am looking for opportunities to try to sell, buy back with the goal of improving my position. You can improve your position 40% 2 times in a row, you're doubling your bag. And historically, looking at the 50 moving average on the weekly time frame, once we start breaking above that, that's when things can get fun. Looking at just Fibonacci pivot levels, guys, there have been altcoins that have already hit their weekly R3 around 17 cents for Casper, the R1 and R2 about 10-11 cents, including 13 cents. And then the weekly pivot around 6.23 cents where both Bitcoin and a few other altcoins have hit. So I just believe there are always leaders and laggards in this market. Now we have shared by eCrypto, so this is Rose, the ticker. Oasis Protocol or Oasis Labs is already protecting every Instagram user's privacy. This is the founder, Dawn Song, talking about it here at the Bank of International Settlements Innovation Summit. So this is the central bank of all central banks. Now, this should be common knowledge, and some guy on Twitter said that I'm spreading misinformation. So please confirm for yourselves. We have the timestamp, the video link right on the official YouTube channel of the BIS. But I do think it's super legitimate, and Rose, in terms of AI, privacy, and data storage, is a very interesting project. So they partnered with Meta or Facebook probably over a year ago, and this should be common knowledge, and she talks about it in this video clip. And if you want to check it out for yourselves, at timestamp, I would go from like 7:20 to 8:30 if you're curious. Bank for International Settlements just sharing this on stage, and a few things that she says. So this is the founder of Oasis Labs and their crypto Rose. It's on Binance, KuCoin, a variety. They partnered with Meta a while back. Meta owns Instagram. And they launched a privacy-preserving AI model fairness assessment with Facebook, and they rolled this out to the Instagram users. So I thought this was worth sharing. They're using AI machine learning for financial services to study user behavior when we're clicking, what we're looking at the longest, and this is all about for recommendations and algorithms. So this is the future. I know it's creepy, but this is a real use case and wanted to share. So this is another example of AI privacy and types of data storage projects that are working on real solutions. So if anything has a chance to survive and do those 10x, 50x returns, I think Casper and Rose easily have that potential. I just cannot hold every single great project. There's going to be some that are not even on my radar and I miss. I'm trying to keep tabs on the Casper Block Explorer under deploys, and as we look, we're looking for the contract type, so we have transfers, and we have a WASM deploy. So right here is 99 Casper. These WebAssembly smart contract deploys, because when they launch a patent, there's going to be a certain fee. I know in the previous video we shared they said 40 million, so if we took 40 million, so if it's 40 million patents times 99 Casper per patent, I know they're doing this in batches, so this could be complete speculation and way off, but this is just to get the juices flowing. 40 million times 99 is 3.9 billion. We can take this number divided by the total supply of Casper, so right there that's 34% of the total supply. Now what's even more interesting, and let's remember this 3.9 billion, is there's only so much in circulation, but 75% of it is locked up. So that 10.9 billion minus what is actually locked up. So how much Casper is actually in circulation, even available for exchanges? 2.1 billion. So yeah, that's one partner bringing $7 to $10 billion in patents on the platform. We just showed that Porsche alone has $22 billion in patents or IP. We know Nike and Toshiba will be minting their patents on Casper and nobody's talking about it. So talk about a supply shock. There is far less Casper than people realize. Now, if it's 1 billion Casper, if it's 1% of the supply or 10% of the entire supply, all of that Casper are fees that are paid to the validator, which likely adds to this amount of total stake bonded or locked up, reducing the circulating supply. So hopefully you see the flywheel effect. So if there is real enterprise application in the future, there's going to be a supply shock. Remember, you can go to casperwallet.io to use the Casper wallet. This is created by the Casper co-founder, and Michael's also the creator of the Casper Block Explorer. So I'm personally excited for the mobile application where we can just stake and delegate with one click of a button. Right now, this is just the minimal viable product, but I'm really happy with it. Works way better than Casper Signer. If you want to watch a tutorial on the Casper wallet, type in the X Frontier Casper wallet. It's this first video 6 days ago. I know some people asked me to do a tutorial. I could, but I honestly think his video is just better, and I don't know if I could outdo it. So go check it out. Covers all the information that you need to know about the Casper wallet. For the new features that are coming, I'm happy to do one, but this should get you started. And in the previous video, we talked about the Alliance Block hack a couple months ago. That has nothing to do with the validator on Casper's network of Alliance Block. That's completely separate. So the hack was actually the, the bonk DAO. So I would argue it wasn't even Alliance Block's fault for the hack, but that's a reminder that anything can happen in crypto. And just a few other facts in case I get more questions in the comments, because I have been reading all of my comments and replying, guys. So huge thank you to those that are leaving comments, good questions, and appreciate it. So a few facts that are common questions. So if you are delegating your Casper to a validator to stake it and earn daily rewards, your daily rewards come out each era. Every 2 hours, you get paid Casper on CSPR.live, the Block Explorer. There's docs on Casper's website. You can type in Casper docs, how to stake, how to store with the Ledger Nano wallet, with casperwallet.io as a software wallet. And when you initially delegate your Casper, it takes 1 era to begin earning rewards, so about 2 hours. So as soon as you delegate your Casper to a validator to help secure the network, it'll take about 2 hours until you first start seeing rewards come through, and then every 2 hours, you'll see those rewards. Now, when you want to undelegate, it takes 14 hours, approximately 7 eras. So if I want to unstake, technically it's undelegating, it'll take about 14 hours until those funds are back in my wallet. Now, if you're delegating to any validator, whether it's an Alliance Block validator, whether it's Ghost Staking, Casper Army, any of these validators, why I like Casper so much, and because it's so incredibly secure, is there are no slashing risks whatsoever. You can Google that. And also, if the validator goes down completely, your Casper is still safe. The validator does not control your Casper. You owning the secret keys, the private keys to your Casper wallet, always 100% have control of your funds. If the validator goes down, it does not matter. Ideally, pick a validator with the lowest fees possible with 100% performance time. But if I'm staking or delegating to Alliance Block and their validator went down, I am not worried. All I can do is go, click undelegate, and then within 7 eras or 14 hours, I get my Casper back and I can go to a different delegator. So with other protocols, there are slashing risks. If validators misbehave and they cut your funds, they could take a 1% fee from you and just rip you apart. That is not my concern with Casper. They are building a scalable solution for enterprises that is open source for everybody. I love Hedera, but it's a governing council. They're working on getting more members, so it's not just, Dell on the council. That way, Competitors of Dell wouldn't want to join Hedera's council because it's competition, so they're working on better decentralization as well. I just think Casper is incredibly unique. So I hold HBAR, I've bought since launch. I love Ethereum and Bitcoin. I think they obviously have a space in this future, but this future is going to be multi-chain, and we have not seen the true winners emerge, especially with regulatory clarity. They're based in Switzerland, have a global presence, and they have the largest enterprise pipeline in the space, period. Even Crypto Caesar just saying this is not a paid tweet, neither are mine. I wish I was paid to talk about Casper. I honestly can't suggest anything as good as this right now. Once it breaks its accumulation range, I think you will see some excellent upside. And I'm talking about it because all these other influencers are talking about altcoins that already did a 400x, if not more. I'm talking about Casper because it hasn't done anything. It did not create a new all-time high. Hopefully we break out of this accumulation sooner than later. I think we absolutely do this year. And the CEO of Casper also said regarding Binance exchange listings and Coinbase, they don't want to go after them because they're going after enterprise adoption. They don't care about marketing to an exchange and getting a listing. They want to avoid all legal liability, so these exchanges will list them when they're ready, and that volume is going to be beautiful. Yesterday, Casper's volume was like 8 million, so 15 million, but let's compare Render, that's kind of close to the ranking of Casper. So Casper is 86. Render, which already has a Coinbase listing, Binance US, you can see 99 million. It's actually down. It was up significantly, probably 100 million, 140 million, maybe 180 million yesterday. But that is the power when you get these exchange listings. It's not about pumping the price, it's about trade volume, transactions, and computation. Now we know Ripple the company announced the Ripple Liquidity Hub. This is plugging into OTC trading desks, DEXs, and centralized exchanges for liquidity. This is a good thing for all crypto assets. You can go through the recent post Liquidity Hub, their B2B crypto liquidity API solution. All these businesses and consumers can manage a broad portfolio of assets across fiat, so crypto, CBDCs, NFTs as well. Now please remember, these are not pictures of a monkey. This can be a digital certification of anything. This could be a vehicle leasing agreement. This could be a mortgage. This could be music rights and royalties using smart contracts. So it's a lot bigger than people think. It's basically an identification tag, an audit trail, making it traceable, tradable, adding liquidity to new markets, new money can flow, and basically interoperate with all these ecosystems. Right now, Web3 is one of the craziest transfers of wealth. Web2 took decades, starting in 1999 to today, 20 plus years. I believe Web3 is going to make Web2 look cute. So definitely keep an eye on this. I know people are upset about XRP not really being mentioned or used in the Ripple Liquidity Hub. Johnny Deaton right here, XRP not being listed in Ripple's Liquidity Hub means absolutely nothing regarding the case. It does not mean the case has already been decided and Ripple the company lost, or they suspect bad news is coming. It's called Liquidity Hub. How liquid is XRP in the US? Exactly. And don't get it wrong, I understand people's disappointment. You've been fighting for XRP for over 2 years against government overreach. I'm just commenting on people thinking that it means something specific to the case itself. Remember, on the Casper price chart, XRP price chart, HBAR price chart, on the weekly RSI, the momentum is climbing. Once it gets above 60, it's definitely considered bullish. Once it gets over 70, the crazy fun and volatility and momentum can happen, but it's overbought. So if you're holding positions, it's a great time to look for that crazy volume and start staggering out, just like when Ocean, a Variety, Fetch did a 10x, AGIX did probably a 10x, Ocean did 3 to 5x from the low. That's when the fun comes. So if the weekly RSI starts getting up there and piercing, that's when I'm looking to potentially try to stagger my trading bag and buy back during a pullback. Typical retracements can be a 38.2%, it could be a 50%, it really depends. But overall, there's leaders and there's laggards. So if some go much higher, some have hit the R3, I'm going to be more bullish on others that are down here. Now looking at QNT, this is the QNT versus Bitcoin price chart. You can see one of the best performers against Bitcoin in history since 2018's inception versus Bitcoin up until the high in September 2021. QNT outperformed Bitcoin by over 360x. So I love QNT. I'm not bashing QNT whatsoever, guys. But I just want to emphasize, I am not chasing QNT after a 5x. You can go back to any video in 2022 when this occurred and you'll see me saying the same thing. I think many altcoins have the chance this year to retrace and catch up to those alts that already did the 5x from the low in QNT's case, if not more, in 2022. So you can see, even looking at different fib levels, it takes a long time. Some parts draw longer, some parts draw shorter, but I always find it fascinating, and yes, I believe that algo does catch up. You can even compare Bitcoin versus algo right here on the daily time frame, targeting the 500-day MA. The Bitcoin price chart finally hit the weekly pivot, the triple bottom. Looking at algo, triple bottom near the 236, 500-day MA around 50 cents. So remember that Ultra already hit 30 cents. Algo hasn't budged yet. And I personally believe that we hit these levels in the future. Yes, we have gaps at 16 cents. I'm personally not worried. I think that would be short term. And for anybody that likes the ISO standards, I know ISO 222 for messaging is exciting, but there are 3 data standards in the global financial system, and everybody's distracted with messaging. That's not settlements. XRP Ledger is settlements. Now, it's good to be interoperable with messaging first before we focus on the foundation layer. I get that, but Actus is massive. This is financial contracts. Why is Casper the only organization I see at scale working with Actus, the foundation? So this is huge. This is a 30+ year standard. They're already working with the central authority and data provider for the global financial market. So very exciting. I assume in the future, once Casper starts appreciating in price, breaking out of this range, there's going to be a lot more big accounts finally talking and acknowledging Casper. Even looking at the Casper Bitcoin price chart, guys, there are open gaps above at a variety of levels, and it's just a matter of time. So this is the largest enterprise blockchain deployment in history, and it's crickets. Very few people are acknowledging this, and this is bigger than anything Ethereum, Solana, and a variety of layer 1s have ever done. In Roth economy and sharing, XRP will be evaluated along other tokens for support within the product. We look forward to supporting XRP as it receives regulatory clarity in the US, of course. You guys really don't think XRP has huge plans? I do. Per PolySign on the board. Remember, retired vice chairman of BNY. They're building a crypto desk, and he is on the board of PolySign alongside the creators of PolySign, who are co-founders of the XRP Ledger, Arthur Brito, David Schwartz. I think it's obvious, not financial advice. Anything can happen, but it's hard just to be, a macro bear in the market, because the XRP Ledger, Ripple, they have more integrations via APIs and connections and bank trials by central banks, including the Central Bank of Russia, than any other project for the payment space. So I'm biased because I've done 1,000+ videos on XRP over the years. I hold a lot, but I truly believe that XRP has payments in the bag. If it can just get regulatory clarity in the US, it's game over. If they don't, XRP still survives. They're working with Tranglo. 60% of on-demand liquidity XRP transactions go through RippleNet today. So they don't need the US, but it sure would help. And this is what I was referencing. Shout out to Ernie Ice. 8% inflation rate will be too low to avoid supply shock when deploys start. Also, the Descent wallet, the leading blockchain wallet in Korea, integrated Hedera's token service, HTS, to developers, institutions, and retail users. Awesome. In good news for iTrustCapital, they have completed their integration with Fortress XYZ. This is going to be massive. This fund is massively backed, so be sure to check them out. Just like we know Fireblocks, you are going to know this name, Fortress Trust and Tech, an e-payment infrastructure for Web3. So I have the link in the top of the YouTube video description and the pinned comment. If you use that link to create an account, which is 100% free, you also get a $100 funding reward. So I've used iTrustCapital since 2020 of January, so over 3 years of tax-free trading and investing, using a Roth IRA to have access to cryptocurrencies and precious metals. So now with this integration with Fortress and a few other partners, they're going to be able to list dozens of projects. So I'm excited to see the asset list increase a lot. So remember, it is free. There's just a 1% transaction fee. There are no hidden fees, management fees, custodial fees for anybody new. You can go do your own due diligence. I have family and friends that use this platform as well. Everything is kept in cold storage. This is enterprise grade security, almost $7 billion in transactions. It's a $1 billion valued company, if I didn't say that already. Over 190,000 reviews. Go look at the reviews on Trustpilot and Google. Look for the worst ones and decide for yourselves. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Much love, and I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.